Let's learn about constraints with 3 simple examples. So when we start our sketch, the more constraints we add to something, the less work we have to do later. Now I'm exaggerating this a bit so that I can show you how to use the constraints. So we're going to hit OK. So let's make this line horizontal. So we're going to click on this. We're going to come to constraints. We'll pick vertical and horizontal. It's going to snap to whichever one's closer. Then we're going to pick the tangent, and let's make these nice and tangent the way that everybody would want to design them. Again, I'm just selecting each side to snap them into tangent. And then we're going to use the coincident here, and we're going to pull this line to our center here. I'm going to hit escape to get out of this. And then I'm going to click on this line and hit X, and that turns it into a construction line. As you can see, it's now dotted. And now look at this. We only have to add a few dimensions. So I'm going to push D, and we'll make this 3. We'll make this 5. And we'll make this 2. And as you can see here, we can go back and make changes to these. But that is a fully defined sketch. Everything is black. Let's make a new design here. All right. Now let me show you a little trick here. So I just started with our 2-point rectangle here. I'm going to hit OK, and look at this. I can select on this. I hit delete, and I can delete this vertical constraint, which allows me to pull this any which way I want. And so in our case, we're going to make a trapezoid. I'm going to push L for line, and I'm going to divide this in half. Let's drop some circles. So I'm going to push C, and we are going to put this in here like this. So let's make this one here. We're going to select that, and we're going to do the perpendicular. So these two are perpendicular. So now we're going to move this to the midpoint. So watch this. We have our midpoint command here. Another way to access it is to grab this little point and wait for the triangle icon to show up. There it is. Then we're going to drop it. Now we just added this constraint without picking it out. So I'm going to click on this and hit X. This turns it into a construction line. One of the ways we can make this horizontal is we can drag the circle over and then let Fusion 360 understand that these two are now the same on the same plane. Let's go up and use our equal command. So this is equal to this. And we're going to make these two symmetric around this point. Okay, so watch this. When I move them up and down, they move together. So now we can pin them in place with minimal commands. This one and this one here, we're going to make them equal. So this one equals this one. So look, we have the same symbol show up. We're going to, okay, that was a right click, and we'll hit OK. So now what we can do is we can unlock the collinear constraint here. So just be a quick trapezoid, but then I'm going to constrain the collinears like the parallel, only they share the same trajectory, right? Let's look at the concentric command. So we'll make this box. I'm hitting C for circle, and we're just going to drop a couple circles in here. We're going to hit OK. We can add the constraint of tangent, and then we are going to use the concentric command. So this one will be concentric with this one. And let's see if we can make it. No, see, it won't let us select the box. So we can do midpoint command, this, and this. And look at that. It just snapped into place. And of course, we're going to do our coincident command. We'll bring this to our origin and look how it locked in some of those. We're going to hit OK, press D, and we can start dropping in our dimensions as we see fit. And let me jump back to our let's jump back to our previous example. Here's one thing that I wish I learned earlier. I'm going to push D. So in this dimension, I can do a dimension horizontally, I can do it vertically, and then sometimes it's hard to like move my mouse just right to get this align dimension. Well, watch this. I can just click on the line I like and push right click. And then look at this. It's an option for me, right? And of course, as I add dimensions, it will come up and I can pick whatever I want. But as we start defining stuff, it will turn it black. And that way we know it's fully constrained. So the edge of this trapezoid is fully constrained. All this needs to understand now is the diameter, which we have it. These two are linked. And so if we can place this with respect to the origin, we will get those to turn black also. Look at that. So I'm going to hit escape. So look, this bottom part is fully constrained. This top part is nearly fully constrained. We just need a height because remember, this angle came up here on the collinear, right? So all I have to do is describe that and we're ready to go. This is ready to extrude, right?